And that's when the vampire attacked.
Oh no!
Oh,
Hey, welcome everybody. Welcome. My name is Ken, otherwise known as DM Gallibond. And I am here with a bunch of my friends from Adventures on Tap Orlando. And tonight, we are going to be going through an adventure out of Keys from the Golden Vault. We are going to be looking at a 5th level adventure. This is a fun little thing for some of us DMs from Adventures on Tap to do on a Wednesday night. We have our great friend Nick, hooray Nick, who is managing the stream for us. And so anything that looks fantastic on the stream is to his credit. Anything that screws up, it's because we were giving him a hard time, and he got mad at us. So just know that. With me, I have 6 amazing players, and I am going to go from my left to right, top to bottom on my screen, so it may be different on your screens. But the top right, I see Jen. Jen, please tell everybody a sentence or two about yourself.
Oh, about me?
As the player and about your AOT experience. Let's do it that way.
Okay. I, as a D&D player, I personally lead towards the chaos, but I'll try to behave myself. I've been
Ones who say that never do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely lying right now. 1000% absolutely lying. If I start a sentence with "I have an idea," you should probably duck. But I've been DMing for AOTs. I started in January. I went to a couple of events. I DM'd for a home game, and I wanted to get involved with my local community of nerds and charities. So here I am.
Awesome. And tonight you're playing Fifi, is that correct?
I am. I'm playing Tempest's favorite idiot, Fifi. She is a cleric of Tempest, and I dump stat at intelligence.
Okay, excellent. All right, and then next I see on the left side. Oh, I'm hearing an echo. So somebody has the stream audio on. Please cut the stream audio from your speakers. Left side, second row. I see Joe, who is one of our speakers. Joe, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so hello, my name is Joe. I've been with Adventures on Tap now for about 2 years. I've played D&D for collectively maybe about 4 years, mostly as a forever DM, so that's why I'm happy that this group is going, so I get to play a little bit on a regular basis.
Okay, and you're playing Maram, is that correct?
Yes, playing Maram, who's a halfling rogue.
Okay. All right. My screen just shifted around. Next, I see Ben. You weren't going to be next, Ben, but you are now.
On deck, always ready for an adventure. My name is Ben. I've been running a mini campaign for AOT since May. Before that, I was doing D&D events at my local brewery on my own. So I was really glad to have AOT step in and help with a lot of the back-end support. Things have been going very well since we switched over to that model, and really happy to have met all the people that I've gotten to meet through AOT. It's been a really cool journey so far.
That's awesome. And remind me who you're playing again tonight, Ben?
My character is a gnome rogue by the name of Petrelli. His name is Petrelli Paviano. His friends call him Playboy. On account of he's 38 inches of pure love machine. He gets in, he gets out, he gets the goods, you know? Bam!
All right. It's going to be one of those kind of games. Kyle, you are next on my screen.
Hello, I am Kyle. I am a DM with AOT for about 2 years now, but I've been DMing for about 3, player for about 5. Today I am playing Gertie Wozniak, a halfling rogue thief, a sort of steal from the rich, give back to the poor type, but occasionally loves to gamble himself away.
Awesome. Okay, and Garrett is next on my screen.
Hello. My name is Garrett. I've been with AOT since they first formed in 2022. So I moved out to Florida from Connecticut and was looking for a group to play with. Discovered Adventures on Tap, and it was off to the races as soon as I got wind of what was going on there. Drinking beer at a brewery and playing a big dumb barbarian and smashing stuff sounds like my perfect weekend. So I've been attached at the hip with these guys since then, and trying to contribute as much as I can because I love what we do.
Awesome. And tonight you are playing Goldmund, is that correct?
Yes, I will be Goldmund Everstand. I was a dwarf. Well, I still am a dwarf. And grew up in the mines as all dwarves do. And then my brother died in front of me, and I found some mysterious object. Since then, I'm on a search for answers.
You are a sorcerer or a warlock?
Warlock.
Okay. All right. And last but not least, Chris, you are at the bottom of my screen.
Yes, my name is Chris, and I am an alcohol. Oh, sorry, wrong meeting. I've been DMing for AOT since I want to say maybe a year, maybe a little over a year now, and I've been coming to AOT events since they got started. From what I remember Garrett very well. We started the same one for what I remember.
Oh, yeah.
And the character I am playing today is named Lyrene. I am a Wood Elf Ranger that is very, very lanky body and kind of up itself, if that makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Wonderful.
That is up somewhere.
All right. Wonderful. Well, as we have mentioned, we are Adventures on Tap. After the stream, not during the stream, but after the stream, you all should go to aotorlando.com, which is the Adventures on Tap website. You will find out the schedule of our events. We do live D&D one-shots at breweries in the Metro Orlando area and perhaps beyond in the future. We do have an event coming up in the lovely town of Mount Dora. But other than that, most of our adventures have been in Metro Orlando. But watch for places further afield in the future. And we, in addition to playing D&D or other tabletop RPGs, we also like to raise money for local charities. And so you'll find out all about that information on our website. But for right now, what I would like to do is I would like to set the scene for everyone. So you are a crew. You all have been together a certain amount of time, and you are part of an organization that calls itself the Golden Vault. And the Golden Vault is a secret society. The first rule about Golden Vault is you don't talk about Golden Vault. And each of you were recruited into the Golden Vault at some point in the past by a former or current member in good standing. And they brought you in and they introduced you to a person. And this person's name is this person's name is Mira Rahir. Mira Rahir is a clerk in the county tax office. She does like zoning and stuff, and her secret identity is she every once in a while will come to the tavern that you all hang out at, and she will hand one of you a key. And when you get this key, you know it's time to gather all of your companions, go back to the your secret lair, and get your little Golden Vault music box, and you put the key in, and it opens, and it gives you your next mission. And that's basically the way it works. If you don't have the key, you can't open the box. Those of you who are so inclined have tried and tried and tried, and you haven't been able to get the box open. You may have even seen some times where somebody was a little clumsy and dropped it, and as delicate as it looks, it never gets damaged. Probably none of you have tried to hit it with a weapon, but you suspect that if you did, it would probably hurt the weapon more than it would the music box. So you know this is a magical container, but you don't know if it has anything inside other than the mystical messages that plays when a key is inserted. So it is an average evening, and everybody roll me a d20. Let's find out who's hanging out at the pub.
17.
Okay. Oh, if you're not, please roll 20 so that it pops up on the screen. Okay, I see a 9 for Jen, 6 for Marin, 15 for Kyle, 14 for Ben, 17 for Garrett. Okay, 12 for Chris. All right. So Golemond.
Yes.
You are at the bar, and it's not long after work, so it's early in the evening. Would you be starting the evening with the Dwarven Stout, or would you work your way up to those?
Dwarven Stouts are how you start. They only get harder from there.
Okay, so you're towards the end of your first Golden Stout. You've already put in your order for your second one. And Mira comes walking in, and she says, good to see you here, Gormland. How are you tonight?
Doing just fine, only just getting started. You here to join us?
Well, I'm here on a little bit of an errand. And she stretches and she puts her hand down on the bar and she slides it over towards you. And
pick up my mug and place it on top of whatever's under her hand.
Okay, she deftly removes her hand, and how then do you find out what is underneath? Do you lift it up, look at it? Do you
we've been through this before, right?
Sure. So what's your normal?
So I know what it is. It's the key to the box, which is how we're gonna find out where we're going, what we're doing. So I'm just gonna put the tankard on top, know exactly what it is, and then next time I go for a drink, I'm gonna slide it off the bar, key into my hand, take a drink, and go, "It was nice seeing you, Marin. Pleasure doing business with you."
And she says, "Always a pleasure, Goleman. Good luck."
Won't need it.
And then she laughs and she throws a gold piece on the bar and says to the bartender, "His round is on me tonight." And so the bartender says, "Yes, ma'am." And then she takes her leave. So you finish your second stout and then head off, or what do you do?
Not one to waste a drink. I'm gonna make sure I get the money's worth from this gold that was paid for me.
Okay.
And then when that's good and used, I'll then make my way over to maybe to a table. Because am I expecting my friends, my compatriots, to come in, or should I go find them?
No, you guys have a whatever your living arrangements are your living arrangements, but there is a it's kind of like an office. Maybe it's an office in a warehouse somewhere where you all gather away from prying and listening eyes to activate the music box so that you're sure that only you are hearing the message and nobody else is. So,
Is it standard that one of us would listen to it, or all of us would be there to listen to it?
it's general practice that all of you are there together to listen to it.
Okay.
Unless, of course, somebody is out of town for some reason.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna round up the gang. Then.
Okay. All right. So consider yourselves rounded up and you head a few blocks away from the tavern to the commercial district and you go to the warehouse where your little office is, Universal Exports or whatever your cover company is, and you whoever's carrying the music box at the moment brings that out, and the key, like always, just looks like a normal little small golden key, and it slides into the music box. And who is going to do the honors of turning it this time? Will that be
Any takers?
Gormand or will it be somebody else?
Lyrene will kind of reach out. I'll handle this one this time, fellas, and I'll turn the key.
Okay, all right. So you turn the key, and the lid of the box opens, and the strange thing about it is every time the box opens, it just looks like a black void in there. And you've done things like you've taken a copper piece and you flicked it in there. The copper piece seems to just vanish, and you don't hear it hit the bottom. You don't hear anything, and some of you have been brave enough to think about putting your hand in there, but something always tells you maybe that's not such a good idea. So it's just this like empty void underneath the lid of the music box, and this very soft, melodious voice, androgynous. Perhaps it's female, perhaps it's male. You're not really sure. You can't really tell much of an accent to know what sort of species it is. But the voice says, "Greetings, operatives. A valuable painting has been stolen from a member of the Cognoscenti Esoterica, an organization with connections to the Golden Vault. The Cognoscenti Esoterica specializes in the study of rare objects of historical significance. We suspect that the stolen painting, Constantintori's portrait, has magical properties and ties to the occult. This quest, should you choose to undertake it, requires you to infiltrate the guild house of the Agile Hand, a dangerous thieves guild. Find where the painting is kept, recover it, and return it to Adrissa Carimorte of the Cognoscenti Esoterica. A preliminary meeting with Adrissa has already been arranged, and a coach will arrive shortly to deliver you safely to her location. Good luck, operatives." And then after the message plays, the lid automatically closes and the key just vanishes. You all have tried in the past to grab the key, but you can never pull it out of the box, and as soon as the lid closes, it just always it vanishes. Never
Ricky,
to
why
be
are
seen.
you never fast enough?
I feel like it gets faster every time, and it just you could just boom.
I think you're getting slow.
Do not lie about me.
Huh?
Gentlemen, how many times must we explain this? It's arcane. You will not be fast enough.
No, I just think
Takes the
he's
key every
too
time.
slow.
You're not going to get it.
I swear I'm not doing a magic trick. I do not make it disappear.
No.
I just can't grab it.
I'd like to pull out my flask real quick and just take a drink and move on.
So this.
Does he always fill that thing up before we do a mission?
I think it's magic. I think it's magic. The flask, I mean.
Oh, that would actually be really good. Money-wise. Never have to pay for a drink.
Right, and if it could just do it to my glass right now, that'd be great.
I got things going on at the moment.
All right, yeah.
Like a decanter, but instead
Kinda
of water,
figured.
it's alcohol.
Unless it's mayonnaise. Do you think he's just got mayonnaise in that thing?
Oh. Yeah, that would actually make a lot of sense.
Of course it would. Can we figure this out? How?
Yes, we need to go and figure out the cognizant esoterica. And the lady, the person, we need to go meet with her. Something about coaching them.
No, a coach is coming. That's the thing that has horses that pull it. There's a coach coming to get us.
We're not
Take
being
us there.
trained. We're not being trained by a coach.
Wonderful. It's
Good,
all right.
because nobody can train me.
Fearless leader will deal with this.
Wait, did we vote on a leader?
What? I mean, it's obviously me.
I mean,
Right.
we'll work out the details in the future. It's okay. When we vote for myself, I understand. But let's make sure we understand what the mission is. We need to steal a painting. Now, I'm no artist, but I think it's valuable.
Doesn't matter whether it has monetary value or not. It's valuable to our client. We need to get it.
True.
That we can agree on.
Yeah, it just makes me question why we need to get a painting that is tied to the occult. I don't see how that helps anybody. But,
It helps
we don't
us.
question a golden order's motives, so.
Maybe it was
What
the
do you say,
kid's
Rob?
painting. I don't know. Does it matter?
Nah, it probably matters what the actual painting is, but we'll figure it out when we get there.
Oh,
The Cognition
Don't steal paintings from children, please.
I don't know if anyone else is listening, but the Cognition is one of our businesses.
Yes.
They stole from us. That's why we're getting it back. If we steal from you, steal right back.
Even better.
and kill.
Show them up. That's what I say.
And make sure they don't see the light of day the next day because we killed them.
No, that is plan like 7. We need to go through all the other plans first before we get to that.
Sure. Everybody make me a history check, please.
Oh.
Oh. Hey, how's it going?
Okay, so Fifi and Petrelli, you two know 2 things from the message. You know that the Agile Hand is a thieves guild that is known to be they're known to be connected with rather wealthy patrons, and they will sometimes be the thieves that corrupt politicians or nobles who don't mind a little bit of scandal attached to their name will use to carry out sort of nefarious deeds on their behalf. And so you know that they are a well-paid group, and they They try to not get caught in the act, but they are not afraid to leave a trail of bodies behind, if they have to get their job done. So that's one thing you know. You also know that the the Cognoscenti Esoterica, in addition to being a group that works with the Golden Vault, they are connoisseurs of fine art objects, and they tend to work with groups like yours and like the Harpers to sometimes uh, keep um, especially uh, important magical objects out of the hands of ne'er do wells. So you kind of know that if the Agile Hand has it, they probably were asked to get it by somebody that paid them, and so they're probably going to pass it along before too long. So there's probably a short window of time to grab this painting. And if the Cognoscenti Esoterica is trying to get it, then probably it is something that could be used by people with ill intent to further their goals. So that's what you guys know. The rest of you, all you know is that you hear some thunder and that you hear it's starting to rain outside. So uh, you are. Any other further discussion that you want to have at that point?
So I think this is probably a bad painting. This is a bad painting. Because
Bad
if it's
how?
not a bad painting, then nobody wants like a regular painting. So if it's worth money, it's like a bad painting. Like maybe it turns into a snake or explodes or something.
Or it could just be a good painting and
No,
people value art.
No, if these people have it, it's not just a painting.
Okay.
It's underlying.
So there's like a deep.
And if the hand has it, that means somebody very rich and powerful paid them to take it. And they're going to make the drop soon. So we're not going to have a lot of time to get this done. So let's not stand around jabbering. Let's come up with a plan.
Well, do we know where the guild house of Agile Hand is?
Well, you know that you are supposed to be picked up by a coach and taken to a meeting. That's the first thing that's going to happen.
Should we go wait outside?
Yes.
that be
You
suspicious?
stand on guard duty, watch the building, make sure we're all safe. It's on you. Let us know when that carriage arrives.
Awesome. I will search
I
for
agree.
a wagon with horses.
And I'm gonna
And you
take a
see
seat.
Oh,
quickly
well.
push out of his chair and like a little kid just jump off and like scatter away.
Hey, Gurky, as you get to the outer door and you open the door, you hear the sound of horses' hooves clopping up the street, and you see a team of two black horses pulling a four-wheel enclosed carriage with a very smartly dressed woman in what looks like house livery of probably a minor noble house is in the driver's seat. And she is pulling up towards your building.
I turned back. Guys, I think the ale company of Bushweiser is here. Is that for us?
Get out of my way, and I'm gonna storm towards the door.
I really hope so.
And as you go out, you see it as a black carriage pulled by black horses, with a driver dressed in black with a black top hat, and on the side of the carriage there is a gold sigil, and the words Cognoscenti Esoterica are in curved letters above and below the little sigil.
I'd like to turn to
And
Gurky real quick and just be like, all right, You have no idea how disappointed in you I am at the moment, but you also did correct by letting us know this is here. So I'm just gonna call this a break even, and let's go talk to her.
Yes, I don't owe you any money.
And the driver says, you're right on time. Hop in. I will take you to the meeting with Adrisa.
Wonderful.
Can we just shout inside to make sure everyone's aware, or do we all run out?
You probably all started to come out when somebody said beer. You all were on. Oh, really?
Bushweiser.
So it's just like an air wagon.
Okay, rain is falling as the coach takes you out of town, and maybe a mile or so. It finally pulls up beside an open barn surrounded by fields of dead corn. A tall, well-dressed human woman emerges from the barn as you exit the coach. "Thank you for coming," she says with a smile. "I am Adrisa Keramorte. My organization would like to hire you to retrieve a painting that was stolen from us by a thieves' guild. For the painting's safe return, I am prepared to pay you 2,000 gold pieces. Let's go inside to escape the rain, shall we? There's someone else I'd like for you to meet."
All right.
This-
She
Talking about each.
and she leads you towards the barn, and everybody make a perception check.
Perception. Also, I don't. When I click on perception, it rolls 2 times. Like with
Yeah,
a
mine
Yeah.
just did that as
for
well.
some reason.
Yeah,
No.
that's fine. That it's rolling advantage, and that's fine to leave it that way. All that means, if I tell you I'm looking for advantage or disadvantage, I will just take the higher or lower number, whatever's appropriate. Otherwise, it's the first number that counts. So you can leave
I
it.
just didn't know if that was a choice or option that I was missing.
There is an option somewhere, but for right
I
now,
just
we'll
assumed I fat fingered it and double clicked.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's doing that. Okay, so perception. Several good rolls here. So it's easier to say everybody except for Goldmund and Marin. All the rest of you notice that as you are walking up towards the barn, the rain does not seem to be hitting Adrisa. Also, everybody, I'm hearing something in the background. I don't know if somebody's
lot
air
of background.
conditioning just turned on, or if there's a shop vac going in the background or something. But if
Silencer,
if
I think I
some
fixed it.
kind of
Sorry.
No,
No,
when
it's still
you don't
here.
have it muted, it sounds like a leaf blower as Joe.
yeah
I-
yeah
I think
kind of
it's Kyle.
Is it- Is it gone now?
no.
No, it's just the general background noise of your home.
Ah,
There you go.
okay. Whoever just turned off their mic, that was it. So it was coming from there.
You can tell, generally speaking, where it's coming from if the little green guy in the little green dot in the corner lights up.
Okay. All right. So anyway, that's just neither here nor there. But just wanted to make people aware that we are hearing that noise. And please let me know if you hear any kind of background noise from my end that I need to be aware of as well. I think everything is
you're
pretty
good.
quiet here, but all right.
Can we get a recap on those perception checks, though? I did not hear what you were saying that we saw.
Oh, okay. You see that the rain is not hitting Adrisa as she's walking towards the barn. So she's got some sort of little mystical effect that just like keeping the rain from falling on her very fine clothing.
If I put my hand like above her shoulder, does my hand stay dry?
If you hover your hand above her shoulder, it gets wet. If you touch her shoulder, then your hand is not getting rain on it, but now you're making her dress wet by touching her shoulder.
Fifi,
Yeah.
please don't touch the client. Why are we just grabbing people? What's happening?
I didn't grab anybody. I was just experimenting with how her invisible umbrella works.
I have no idea what
I'm
you're
so
talking
glad
about.
you did
All
that,
I saw
Fifi.
was you walk over and grab this woman.
I'm so glad you did that because I was going to do it if you weren't.
Guys, we need to curb these impulses. We
What?
got a job to
I was
do.
curious.
Ma'am, don't mind them. They're on what we call uncouth.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Professionalism. How many times do we need to have this conversation?
Well, you have been well recommended. We will see.
We're
what
clearly having this
comes-
argument right in front of her, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And she says, "Come on in." And she opens the barn door and lets you in. It's a large open barn. There's a couple of horses stabled. It smells like a barn, and there is a permanent staircase as opposed to a ladder that leads up to the loft. And she goes over and she starts climbing up to the loft, and she motions for you all to follow her.
Yeah, up to the loft.
Okay. You head up to the loft, and as you do, you see that in the middle of the loft, tied to a wooden chair, is a scrawny human man with patchy facial hair. He's sweating profusely and chewing nervously on a cloth gag.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Some fun.
What's a clock gag?
A cloth gag, yeah. So just
Cloth
like,
gag. Sorry.
yeah,
Okay.
just
You're good.
like a shirt sleeve or something that's been tied around his. Yeah. And Adrisa makes introductions. She says, "My friends, this is Grinky Britwort. Britwort has been a member of the Agile Hand. He was the slowest member of the Agile Hand, involved in the theft of the painting. The painting known as Constantori's portrait. He has agreed to talk to you, and for any useful information that he can give you, I have agreed to let him leave this barn under his own power. So, please, if he provides you useful information, do not make a liar out of me. But we need useful information from him. If you understand my meaning."
Don't
I
worry.
find that the easiest way to get useful information is my little friend here. I pull my crowbar.
And the guy's eyes kind of get a little bit wider, and he sort of shifts, and he's like trying to back up a little bit from
Don't
you.
worry, don't worry. As long as you talk, your kneecaps are okay. Okay?
Oh, you're having
You got a
such-
deal?
Okay. You got to intimidate him so poorly using a simple dagger. Here, let me help you out, and I'll snap my fingers, say, "Come out, friend." And you see a blue dragon, a small blue dragon, appear next to me as I summon my companion.
Is this where I would pull out my elephant? Oh,
I think we should.
That is a good trick.
folks, before we start, my lady, we will take care of this. Please, go
She's
relax.
already halfway down the ladder to the.
okay,
to
cool.
and she goes over by the doors, and she just sort of waits by the doors, crosses her
All right.
arms.
Fifi, what were you going to say?
You probably have better luck if you took the gag out of his mouth.
Exactly.
We can scare him a little bit more, no?
You literally brandished a crowbar and a dragon at him.
Yeah.
Why don't we ask him a question? And then if he's not, working with us,
I'll tell you what you want to know. I'll tell you what you're doing. I'll tell you what you want to know. What?
Take a deep breath.
Hold it.
Now you can let it out. Let it out. Okay. So you know you're not going to get murdered, but there's a lot of stuff before you get to don't get murdered. So let's start with what you know about where they took it.
Yeah. Guildmaster Dusk sent us after the painting. She's mean.
That makes sense.
She's a trained assassin. I've seen people not even get caught like I did, and they just disappeared. And well, we saw parts of them again, but we never saw them again. I don't want to go back there.
Okay.
That's fine.
You don't have to. If you want, if you don't give us what we need, which she just asked you a very simple question, if you don't tell us what we need to know, then my friend here, and I'll point down to my dragon, my friend here will make you so cold you feel like icicles are stabbing into every organ in your body.
And do you know what happens when you hit a block of ice with the crowbar?
Woo!
Ping. So you might want to start talking.
All right. Gentlemen, it seems like you guys have made your point.
Okay.
Little
I'll
man.
tell you what you want to know.
Tell us.
What's your question?
I don't care about the Guildmaster. Tell us
Okay.
where the painting was brought.
Okay.
And how many entrances there are, how many guards. We need as much information as about this place as possible.
Well, they would have taken it back to the guild house. Yes.
Okay. Where in the guild house?
Oh, well, see, I'm not exactly sure, but let me tell you about the guild house. It's several floors. The windows of the guild house are all boarded up. The doors are usually locked. But at least 3 members of the guild have keys, and master keys that'll open any door. One of them, of course, is Guildmaster Dusk. Like I said, she's not great. Then there's Elix the Saint, who's one of her lieutenants, and then there's Jaymont the Sinner, who is the resident spy. And the Master of Ravens, Gwish, might have a key as well. So if you want to get your hands on a master key, I think the best bet is to go and snatch it from Elix the Saint. Because usually in the evening, he goes to a seedy tavern called the Tipsy Tankard. It's over in the next village. I think there's a barmaid there that he kind of likes, and so he goes there to try to talk to her and get drunk.
The tipsy what?
The Tipsy Tankard.
Tankard.
Right, and you said he was quite fond of a particular barmaid. What do you know the barmaid's name? What she looks like? Anything like that?
No, I don't know. He just calls her Beauty. I don't know if that's her name or if that's a nickname, but he just says, "I'm going to see Beauty tonight at the Tipsy Tankard."
He probably wants a hug.
Well, what does this Elix the Saint look like?
He gives you a description.
Okay.
That kind of medium height. He gives you a description of a rather distinctive looking beard that he has. So you feel pretty confident that from the description you could probably find this person if you saw
Human?
Yes, human.
Human looking. He's not a dwarf or a
No.
Or
He's
no,
human
yeah.
looking. So.
And what about the others?
Well, Guildmaster Dusk, she's probably going to be in her private chambers, and she's mean. Her lover is probably there, and he's also an assassin. So he's pretty mean too.
Note to self: avoid Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Okay.
And then Jaymont the Sinner is the spy. He's rarely at the guild house. He's almost always out of the guild house on guild business. And then the only other person would be the Master of Ravens, whose name is Gwish. Gwish is a half orc, and Gwish is something of a hunchback. He's a hunchback half orc, and he the fellow you're talking to, Grinky, does not know for sure if Gwish has a key or not. But he does know that these other three people do.
What is this? What is this Master of Ravens you're talking about? What's that job entail?
He basically uses the Ravens to send messages to contacts of the guild. The spy master will send Ravens back to the guild house when he's on missions. Some of the more powerful patrons that are friends of Guildmaster Dusk will use Ravens to send messages to and from the guild house. And then Guildmaster Dusk will also send Ravens to people. Grinky doesn't really know who. That's above his pay grade.
So that implies that there is somewhere on the guild house grounds there is a covey where to keep the ravens, a birdhouse, right?
Yeah. That's an area, a loft that is above the stables.
Above the stables. Good. See, we're making friends here. You're being very helpful. I haven't had to break either of your knees yet. I appreciate that.
I hope not.
Seen him break quite a few jobs. So you're lucky. Thanks for answering. Yeah, like you said.
Yeah.
Do you know if Elix has a particular drink he enjoys? Do you have any other information about him? What he does at the tavern? Is he a bard guy? Does he sing along with the bards? Is he just there for the chick? Does he particularly like a certain drink? Any sort of thing to help us in any way?
He likes dice, but he's not very good at it.
Perfect. And then, do you know, is there maybe a meeting in the next few days that all these people are expected to be at? Or does everyone just do their own thing from day to day? How does their structure work like that?
Well, I would imagine that if she hasn't done it already, then Guildmaster Dusk will be sending a raven to whoever we're sending the painting to, and they'll be arranging for how to transfer the painting to them. Probably they'll start that process as soon as they get the raven back. But like I said, I don't know who hired us. I don't know how far away they are. I don't know anything like that, because
during these transfers, do they usually have all of the main big guys of the guild there for the transfer, or is it something that she would send you and a couple of your buddies to take care of? Or does she pick one of her big guys and send them out? Or does everyone go for a big formal meeting? Any sort of information?
I'm not a ranking member. I do know that they would not just send it with anybody.
But they're not going to send it with everybody.
Right. For a valuable job like this, it will be taken. Either somebody will come to the guild house to get it, or it will be taken to a meeting spot with a number of guards. It will be taken under guard, and they will. Those guards will be handpicked by Guildmaster Dusk. I have never been sent on those missions because I'm not a ranking member. I've been there
You
since
seem
I was
to
a
know a
kid.
lot of stuff as someone who is not a ranking member.
Well, I've been there
You
since
do
I was
know
a
what
kid.
will happen if you are lying to us, correct?
Yes, I know. But I've been there since I was a kid.
Tap.
But I just, I Guildmaster Dusk has just not ever chosen me for any advancement. It's all her choice. She chooses the people she likes to advance.
I try to read his mannerisms, or Mary
Sure.
to read his mannerisms to see if he might be having even a hint of lying going there.
Sure, give me an insight check.
I tap him on the shoulder, and I'm like, "You got this," and I cast guidance.
Ooh, nice. So that gives him a
It's a
D4
D4.
that you can add to your check if you need
It lasts
to.
for a minute, so you can use it on something else.
Oh,
if you don't want to
okay.
use it here.
Well,
I missed it. Did you give me
dirty
that
20. Dirty 20 on your roll. So do you want to use it now or not?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So you get the idea that he is very sincere. He, every time he's threatened with the crowbar or the dragon, that frightens him, but you get the sense that he is even more frightened of Guildmaster Dusk than he is of what you all might do to him. So and he's not trying to deceive you. When he says he wants to get away, he probably won't be anywhere in the next county by the time the sun comes up in the morning.
Kid, do you have any good skills? Like, are you good at cleaning? You good at organizing things? Like, what's your thing?
The horses seem to like me.
Horses. And I'd like to shout down to Andressa. Hey, you need a stable hand?
No.
Could you use one?
Oh.
For maybe someone who's been very good to us, helping us out, and is maybe afraid of the consequences.
Plus, you keep them close in case they lie to us, and
I think it's best we
kill
keep
them.
I think it's best we keep him tied up until we know his information.
Until afterwards,
obviously.
yes.
But I'm saying, if we give him a little hope that, hey, you've got a position with this group, and that'll keep you safe from crazy ladies.
Like a sprinkle of hope. Like, we'll put the idea out there, but we won't confirm anything
He
yet.
shakes his head. He says, I'm sure that
Hey, don't
the
listen.
lady.
Earmuffs. No, we can't.
I'm sure that the lady is very nice, but I don't want to be this close to Guildmaster Dusk. I want to be far, far away. So, if you know of a place in a distant city that needs a someone to take care of horses, you can point me in that direction and maybe send a letter with me. But I don't want to stay this close.
I got something for you.
Oh, yeah.
I got criminal contacts, and I can forge you some ID. So if we need to get you out of town, we got you covered, okay? Now, I only do that for people who are real good friends of mine. You've been a real good friend of mine. You had to break me to your knees. I like that a lot. I like you, kid.
And he seems to be a little bit. He seems to think on that a little bit.
Or if you'd like to change your criminal ways because it's gone really poorly for you up to this point, perhaps you might be interested in pursuing some more religious orders.
I'm gonna stand behind Fifi and just be.
He looks at you, Fifi, and then he kind of looks behind you, and he's kind of he gets this kind of confused look on his face, and he says, "Uh, what religion?"
Oh, I worship Tempest.
Tempest.
Yeah, he's a god of war, and it's really fun. And you get a hammer, and there's like really cool horses, like war horses in the stables and stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
take care of the horses.
yeah.
I feel as though you're sending him into more trouble, just in a different context.
No, all you have to do is be brave, and you have to tell the truth. And
He's
the
not brave.
horses are nice.
Counter
It's all right.
argument.
It's all right. You don't got to make a decision tonight.
Oh,
Oh, you
Don't
won't
worry.
be making
If that
a
ain't
decision
your way,
tonight. It's okay.
I can introduce you to my guy, the Lord of the Dead.
Tell you what, I don't
Does
know
he
what's
have
on
horses
y'all
too?
tonight, but I don't think
Sure.
convincing them to join orders right now when we don't even know the information checks out is a good idea. Why don't we get start planning? Yeah.
Right. I have one last question for him. You
There's a lot
said
of questions going.
you said Jaymont.
yes.
Jaymont is not in town, right?
We're outside, yeah.
Correct. As far as I know, I have not seen Jaymont in over a 10-day.
Gotcha. Is there any idea of where he was sent to or where he went?
I'm not a ranking member. I don't know that. I
I'm
just
not asking
know
for
that
official. I'm chilling by the water hose with your buddies. Things go around, people talk. Any sort of rumors of anything that we should know going into this?
remember I told you what happens to people when they mess up in Guildmaster Dusk? Last year, there was a rumor about a place that Jaymont went. And after he came back, the person that was telling that rumor, they disappeared too.
Gotcha.
So nobody talks about where Jaymont goes.
Has there been rumors going around as of late, maybe about 12 to 14 days ago?
No.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay.
I suspect
die
it's
on
going to
this-
be another 10 day at least before he gets back, because he's usually gone a month or so at a time.
Okay.
But
Remember,
when
if
he
we
comes
die
back,
tonight, we get
Stupid. He doesn't know a month is like 30 days, not 20. Oh, I said that out loud.
Yeah.
He's not high ranking. He's not up there counting beans.
yes, this many is half a week. This many is a full 10 day. And then after a 10 day is a month, right?
Close
Nailed it.
enough.
All right, let's get this. Put the gag back in his mouth. Make sure.
I have one more question.
Oh, sorry. Grab that
And then
back out.
and then we can wrap him up. And I'll kneel down, so I'm like looking in his face, and I'm like, so what's the thing that you most don't want to tell us?
Ooh, secrets. I love secrets.
You can tell me.
She's honestly your best bet here, bud.
Yeah.
What I don't want to tell you?
Yeah, what's the thing you're most scared to tell us?
Yeah.
And you really do want to tell us, just so
Yeah.
you're aware.
Yeah.
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Does she get advantage because I'm egging her on?
No, I'm gonna say disadvantage because
Oh my god.
Of everything that we've already asked him and we've been mean and rude to him and everything.
so it's 15.
What?
15 is pretty good, even with disadvantage. 15 is pretty good. He says, when I was young, what I don't want anybody to find out. When I was young, I saw Guildmaster Dusk when she bent over, and she didn't have any knickers on.
All right, hit him with the crowbar.
That wasn't very helpful.
No, do not hit them. That was the
Oh!
greatest piece of information that he could have given us.
We now know that
How?
he's a voyeur.
How is this useful?
He's also
I-
a voyeur.
Yeah, I haven't put it into plan yet, but it is very useful. Do not touch the man.
Well, now
He's
you're
still
all probably
converted
questioning
under his
and
own power.
converting him over. Yeah. So why don't we just get going? Start the plane.
All right.
Put him back up.
Okay.
Wrap him up. Let's.
I'm going to use
All right,
the
let's put the
the
gag.
gag.
back on
I'm
him.
going to wipe off his head with the blood and then shove it in his mouth and let the head out.
Okay, he probably had about a hit point of damage worth from that. So Fifi, would you do any kind of little, boop to heal that up, or
Yeah, you know what?
that's totally up to you? But as
Yeah,
a commoner, one
yeah.
hit point is pretty severe.
I probably would. Where's the
Okay.
thing? Hold on. I
It's the
can't
end
find
of
the
the
thing.
day. All out of
for.
spell slots. Sorry, bud.
No,
Can't help you.
no.
Is anyone proficient in first aid?
I'm proficient.
Cotton, I can put cotton on any wound.
And I tap him on the face and I'm like, Tempest thanks you. And I thank Tempest and I cast Healing Word.
And his,
Blow in
the
his face.
the wound heals over, and he kind of gives this little gap, and he, actually his hands are probably tied, so he can't do that. But he kind of like has this look of wonder, like he's trying to look up and see his own scalp, and but then he's got the gag back in. So,
If you think of anything while we're gone that you may have slipped your mind, let someone know. They'll get the information to us, and maybe your new identity has a last name that you're a big fan of. You work with us, we work with you. All right, let's get out of here. And I'm just gonna
Come on,
push him
buddy.
over.
No
So he,
eating anybody today. Let's go.
I want to topple him as we
I
go.
want to be the last one down the ladder, so that as I'm going down, I'd be like,
Okay. All right. So you go back down to the ground floor, and Adrisa is there, and she says, "Well, that was interesting technique, but you seem to have gotten some information from him.
There's a reason we
What?
come recommended.
What questions do you have for me?"
Do you have any extra info on any of the people he mentioned? Any of the places?
Or the painting itself. What should we be looking for?
Yeah,
Is
what's it
it
look
a
like?
person? Is it a setting? Is it
Well,
gold?
What I know is that. Tell me, what do you know of the subject? What do you know of Constantori himself?
That he has a fancy name.
Everybody, make me a history check.
History.
I ain't got what you'd call book smarts.
I really am Tempest's favorite idiot. I've been -1 to history and I've been rolling
It's
this
like
high.
a name for like a person. I think it might be the name of an object.
Well, the only person who knows is actually Fifi. So Constantori was a rather famous courtier of a king who lived about 150 years ago. And it was a king of a city-state somewhere in the area, in the Sword Coast. And the rumor about Constantori is that he was the most handsome man anywhere in his kingdom or across the Sword Coast. There were also rumors that the king's wife, the king's sister-in-law, and the king's daughter, and several of the king's daughter's friends all found themselves in the company of Constantori at one time or another. So he was really the playboy that your companion aspires to be. Now, the painting, what she will tell you is she will basically tell or start to tell the rest of the group that, and you kind of cut her off and blurt all that out before.
Yeah, he's just like this really super handsome guy who took advantage of how handsome he was, and he was kind of, I think that in common they call it a fuckboy, and he just sort of like messed around with everybody, and so they commissioned like a really fancy painting of his really pretty face.
As you do.
Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do that.
Adresa says, essentially, yes. That is who Constantori was. But the painting was made by the famed artist Dekesi Kwan, and it was commissioned by the late Dalyani Grithsorn, a grand dame in the criminal underworld. The painting is sentient. And it was made to eavesdrop on conversations and pass along secrets to its owner.
Oh no.
And like Constantori itself, the rumor is that the painting is notoriously vain.
Oh.
So is he like naked or?
Oh, no.
So it's my understanding that this was in the possession of the Golden Vault, correct?
Of the
Well,
Esoterica.
Oh, right. I apologize. Yes. I meant
we procured it. The Esoterica, we procured it from the through means from the estate of Dalyani Gristorn. And our hope was to make sure that it got safely to a vault somewhere where it could not be used by anybody to eavesdrop on people that, it would benefit the criminal underworld.
Can we check to make sure she's not lying?
Sure, you can make an inside check.
Okay.
We have worked with the Cognoscente Esoterica before, correct?
You know that the Golden Vault
has. Not us particularly, but yes.
Some of you may have worked with them, but most of you probably have not. But that from the message, that your organization has
worked with them past.
Yeah.
This is not good. I'm getting too many high rolls right now. I hope we
don't worry. Don't worry. I'm getting the low ones for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
So
this is gonna fall apart. This is gonna fall apart.
Petrelli, you know that she is being honest with you.
I trust her.
Yeah. She will say, okay, so you asked about, or no, she asked you about the painting.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, what I know about the Agile Hand is that Guildmaster Dusk, her specialty is larceny. She is an assassin. She's not afraid to spill blood, but she's really after the bling. She goes for stealing high value targets. She is not afraid to use blackmail, extortion, threats of violence, and follow through on those threats, whatever it takes to keep her enemies at bay. So you should consider her very dangerous if you would have to face her.
Is there a chance that maybe this painting heard some stuff from you guys that you don't want going other places? Could that be why we're getting this? Or is it just purely altruistic?
Oh, no. I think you misunderstand here. It's almost certain that someone who is a powerful member of the criminal underworld hired the Agile Hand to steal it because they want the painting to be able to be used to pass them information.
Mhm.
They want to place this painting,
Right.
probably give it as a gift to someone who they think of as a wealthy member of the nobility, or perhaps a king, or perhaps a powerful, well-connected merchant, and hear all kinds of secrets that then they could use to
Right.
orchestrate their schemes. They just wanted it from us because we had it. I doubt they're interested in our activities.
You never know.
And we didn't have it for very long, so it probably would not have heard very much. And we took measures because we knew about the painting's properties. We took measures not to talk much about our activities around it.
Do you know any information about the whereabouts of the four main, people who run this guild? We've got Dusk. You already heard
Jester.
obviously what the guy upstairs said. Do you have anything to add to this?
No, most of his information was new to me. The only thing I really knew about them is by reputation. I knew of Dusk, and it makes sense that she would spend most of her time at the guild house. As for this spy, I've never heard the name. I wouldn't know that person if I met them. And I'll have to tell you, the Tipsy Tavern is not the kind of place that I go for an evening's entertainment or drinking. I tend to go into the big city to the fine restaurants. Um, you know, the the lovely bards, the Michelin troupe. They have begun rating restaurants by their accommodations. They give them little stars.
I thought I heard that they were purveyors of wagon wheels.
It's called
They
diversification.
Personally, I
Yeah.
find them tiring.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh.
Ugh, bug food.
And do you know the quickest route to the Tipsy Tavern?
Well, Grinky probably would have told you the name of the village and that it's a mile to the west, let's just say. So, it's a small village. It's probably not hard to find a tavern in that village.
Better
All right, one
question.
last-
Where's the guild house?
Oh, she will tell you that she will actually pull out a rolled up parchment, and she says, before you arrived, Grinky drew this map of the guild house, and there's brief directions to it. And as you unroll it, you see looks like a 2-level guild house with a 3-level tower on one end, a separate building that houses stables, and a basement under the main building. And there's a couple of markings on there. He has circled where the guildmaster has her quarters. And then he says, probably the painting is here, or he says it's in the basement, and then there's a warning scratched on the basement says full of traps.
And
So
then
we go in through the basement.
the orc, does he come around town at all, or does he keep to himself?
I had never heard of him, but as Grinky said, he's a hunchback, so I suspect he remains at the guild house most of the time. Most people are afraid of hunchbacks, think that they are somehow contagious.
Interesting.
Informed.
No, scoliosis is not contagious.
No, they are. Like,
You've contracted it yourself?
no, but you just, well, I haven't because I haven't touched one.
Gotcha.
I
That's
know
the
a guy
thing. You
once.
don't want him to touch you. That's how they pass it on.
Do you also think that amputations are contagious?
Well, obviously no, but also like the world is flat. Obviously, yeah,
Yes.
that's
I mean, why are maps drawn on a piece of
flat
parchment if
surface.
they are not?
Exactly.
Yes.
It's all driven.
That's a
it's
good
all
point. That's a
on
good point.
Flat
Right?
surface.
I mean, so the evidence we need.
All right. I don't think we're getting anywhere with this. All right.
No.
Yeah, I got one last question. Can we borrow your carriage?
No.
Yes, I can drive them.
All right, fine. I'll call for mine. Because instead of an elephant, I bought a horse and carriage.
So as you guys walked through the town, a horse and carriage was following him from the bar, and then when you were given a ride out here, a horse and carriage was following you.
Obviously.
Out
She
here,
insisted
so,
we get in hers. What are we going to do? Say no?
yeah. So
All tinted
right.
windows and everything.
so it's now probably close to it was after sundown it was about sundown when they first brought you the key. We'll say it's been a total of about 3 hours now, so it's late evening. Do you guys want to retire for the night and plan, or do you want to try to head out to the village or head out to the
If
guild
we are
house?
to
Or...
recon, wouldn't nightlife be a good distraction?
So, I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea, and it's probably bad. It's probably a bad idea. It's probably a bad idea. But
Well, we can't know unless you tell us.
right. So this guy, this Elex the Saint guy, right? He's got bad luck with women, right? And he's like
Yes.
all about
Couldn't be
this barmaid lady, right?
Yeah.
This beauty, right? So if he goes to the Tipsy Tavern and he's like, "Wow, I really am interested in meeting a lady," and he's got the key on him someplace. We've got a sneaky, right? I'm
We
a
dress
lady.
up one of the guys like a
No,
woman.
I'm a lady. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess, but I mean, Marin could maybe if we shave the mustache, but I mean, I take the armor off, I guess, because that's probably not a good look. But
Depends
I
on what
could.
this barmaid looks like. He might be into
True,
that.
he may love a powerful woman.
Right, but to your point, like I could easily nip that master key, no problem.
Right. So I go in and I distract, or maybe I just make the other barmaid jealous and then we get in a cat fight or something. I don't know. But he's distracted. Sneaky goes in and takes the key, and then he's none the wiser. Maybe he gets laid and he's happy, and then we can go about our merry way and he doesn't even notice the key is gone.
Right, then.
All right, if I have to sleep with him, I will.
Well, couldn't
I'm
we
not
also
doing
just
I don't
tip
know
the
if
barmaid?
that's where that went.
Couldn't we just
Well, we
tip
don't
the
know if he
barmaid
swings
to
one
have
way or the
her?
other, so it might be
I-
possible.
That's kind of
Sleep with
sexist,
him?
I think. I think that's kind of sexist.
Yeah.
Which one?
Not all barmaids are. You can
true.
not buy all their favors.
Well, I mean, it's just an option.
Anyways, distraction on
Right.
the key.
Yeah.
Then I think also, to G-Man's point, maybe we should do some recon as well. I don't know if maybe. I mean, it's not time. Might as well try it now. Yeah. To nip the key. I mean, he's all. I mean, who drinks in the morning? But unless
I
it's
do.
that day.
And I do think we have a very short time frame on this. They're going to
True,
turn
we-
that over to their patron sooner than later.
Ken, I
So
have
the
a question
quicker we
for
can
you.
get info, the
Okay.
quicker we get there.
Who had a question for me? Yes,
All right,
Garrett.
so this town that's outside of the one we're in, where this
The
tavern
village,
is, when they build structures, is it necessary for them to get any sort of permitting, or is this just how the world just does whatever?
Our contact works in the permit department.
Oh, true. Yeah, she works in the permitting department.
Yeah, good
So
thing. I thought you were already there. I thought I was catching up to you,
I was
bro.
looking for just building plans. But I mean, if we have a contact in the permitting department, and subsidiary towns need permitting to do things, is there maybe something we can gain about this tavern? Maybe a layout. Maybe the guild has a
I'm gonna say the heck with the cavern, man.
layout.
Let's see if we can get the plans to the guild house.
Right.
Not that they'll be accurate, but
Well, something's better than nothing. If we know at least what the shape of the building is.
But in the meantime, for the record, I do think we should be having this conversation as we ride the carriage over to the Tipsy Tavern. I think we should be headed there.
And then Kirky's driving, right?
No,
yes,
he's.
Kirky.
I
would definitely drive. Yes.
I'm sorry, I was confusing Gurky and Grinky. So yes, Gurky can drive. Grinky is still.
You know what we should do? We should put a chain on Grinky and just keep him with us.
Oh no, we do not need a pet. We already have the dragon.
True.
The dragon is my pet, for the record.
Yes, ours.
Not yours.
No, that's because you're actually the party pet, Gurky.
No, I'm the leader and the driver and the eyes, the ears, and I open doors sometimes, and I do some talking sometimes. I do a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but are you good
How many
at
of those
any of
things
it?
did we actually ask you to do, though?
Well, I mean, it's implicit.
I'm sure. Okay.
I know you want me to do it, so I do it.
Yeah, just you know that I want you to cook breakfast for me, lunch, dinner, so you do it.
Well, don't skip. It's breakfast, snack, breakfast, brunch, snack, lunch.
Well, we don't need to tell everybody that you're
breakfast,
doing that
dinner.
just for me. That's fine. I mean,
Hold on.
A little bit more brunch that we didn't finish.
Did you guys get secretly married and you didn't tell us?
You guys are getting more than 3 meals a day?
I don't have rings.
Wait,
I don't know what you're talking about. There's only 3.
How are you?
You said breakfast 5 times.
Yes,
We all know,
I mean that's normal.
Halflings have second breakfast and tea.
And 11sies?
It's just normal. Do we not all do that?
No.
You guys know how it works. He eats breakfast, then he can't finish it because he doesn't have that big of a stomach. Then he eats the rest of it a little bit later. So that's his second breakfast or snack. He definitely doesn't serve me breakfast, and then you guys don't get anything for snacks and anything in between lunch and dinner. It's definitely not me. It's just him.
Right.
But then why have I been cooking all food? Never mind.
Shut up,
Let us go off. Let us go off.
Thus, this conversation continues as the carriage rides over towards the village. And to break us out of the game for a moment, my understanding, I believe, if I remember correctly, our session was going to be 7:30 to 10 or 10:30. So I thought maybe right around 9 o'clock would be a good spot for a 10-minute break. We're kind of at a nice natural scene shift here between the barn and the bar. And so if there's if we need to, I can even just go back to the or we still are on the that screen. That's fine. We'll just leave it on this screen here. And I don't know if Nick has any music or anything queued up.
went to. Oh no, now we're back on air.
Okay. All right. Then
Just
in that
all right.
case,
Do a break. Ignore me.
yeah, we'll go ahead and we will break. I will thank you, Nick, for running everything tonight. We appreciate it. We'll be back at 10 after 9.
Sorry about that. I was like, I don't know if we're going to get a break, so I'm going to step away real quick.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I am Ken, otherwise known as DM Gallibond with Adventures on Tap. And when we last left our intrepid heroes, they were traveling on the way to the little village where they were going to the Tipsy Tankard to try to see this fellow who is there trying to make time with a barmaid. Elix the Saint is his name. And through
Sure it is.
the magic of our break, your carriage is pulling up outside the Tipsy Tavern in this little village right now. The sign is of a tankard that is that looks to be toppling over, a little bit of foam spilling out, and the letters that spell out the name of Tipsy Tankard, they're all kind of crazy angles and everything on this little sign, and it's just swinging in the breeze. The rain has kind of slowed down to a gentle drizzle by now, so you won't get too wet as you go from the carriage into the bar.
Before we go in, I just start taking off my splint armor,
Okay.
and I just hand it to the person sitting closest to me. It's
Okay.
full splint armor, gold, very heavy, and I just hand it off. Here's my hammer, here's my shield, here's my armor, gauntlets.
I'm
All
gonna
of the letters
say
underneath are pink.
okay. I'm gonna say that because this was bought after you guys were a crew, this carriage was bought. There is kind of like a basically a locking chamber underneath the seat, so you can pull a door down. You can stuff everything in there, and you can lock it back up. So you can leave
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff in the carriage when you guys go into the bar, and um, you may not be able to prevent the carriage from being stolen, but it would be less likely that somebody would steal the armor out of the carriage.
Absolutely, my carriage would have a smuggler's bin. Also, I want you to know the entire inside is covered in shag carpeting.
Oh, does it have a mural airbrushed on the side of it too?
Oh, the coolest wizard you've ever seen.
Fantastic.
All right, just make sure you put the boot on the horse so that no one steals it.
Yeah.
As we step out. So
Lock
that's
the
with
boot
your
on the
dragon
horse.
wagon, right?
Dragon wagon.
Oh yeah, the wizard's riding the dragon. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so you walk up to the door, and as you approach the door of the tavern, you hear some laughter and some music coming from inside. This place has the look of a not the fanciest place in the world.
Dive.
Yeah, it's kind of a dive bar. You would guess. So, who's going in first, and how? Oh, and describe for me, if you will, Fifi. I think you said pink, but what? Describe what the clothes look like now that your armor is off.
Yeah. So with every layer of armor I take off, it gets more and more pinker. And
Okay.
so, gauntlets off, all of that. And it's like pink leather pants. And the top is like pink lace with then like a pink leather vest. And one of those like tall, frilly Victorian collars with lace around it. I sort of undo the tie a little bit, pinch my cheeks a little bit, fluff up my hair, and I'm like, okay. Whew. How do I look?
Well, I'm glad you're not trying to stand out, Fifi, you know?
Oh,
It would do the job.
Right, but it was to get this guy's attention.
Yeah, the whole point was to get a distraction so I can nip the key.
Well, I mean, I guess this will do the job.
I think we should go in one at a time or in groups of two.
We definitely should not walk in all together.
No, well, duh, yes. But, like, make sure we're surveying all parts of it. I'm
Yeah.
going to go to the far end and try and find music.
I will go into a back corner somewhere.
I'll go right up to
Try
the
to
bar, start drinking. I think Fifi should go in last so that we're all in position.
Okay.
You
My
may,
dragon's gonna stay out here too. That'd be kind of obvious.
Goldman, you should try and flirt with the barmaid, just in case.
If she doesn't have a beard, I'm no promises, but I'll do the best I can.
Yeah,
Use your
Mary goes in and
imagination.
grabs a beer and finds, I guess, the most shadowy, dark area of the bar so that it's easy for him to kind of slip unnoticed to go walk towards this guy. And
Four people walk in, hide in corners. Another guy walks into a bar, and then just
Hey, I at least grabbed a beer.
yeah.
All right, so you're trying to be nonchalant about nipping off to different parts of the bar. So, Gormand, you're at the bar, and initially, I made a note so that I would use character names, and now I need to open that note again. Okay, where is it? Marin, you are going up to order a bar. So the two of you do not have to. Fifi, you do not have to. But Lorraine, Petrelli, and Gurky, please make me stealth checks as you walk in to see how discreet you are at nipping off to different shadowy corners of the bar.
Oh, Gurky's
Oh, no.
not being stealthy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Gurky's not being. Okay,
Gurky's
so
pulling out
Gurky-
his loot and trying to join the band.
Oh, okay. So then, yes, you don't need to be stealthy.
Petrelli is also not trying to be stealthy. He's going to find an open table and start a dice game.
Nice.
Oh, okay, okay.
Irene
so
will
then,
be stealthy, as I don't want to be noticed.
yeah, okay. So Lyrene, if you haven't already,
Yeah, I rolled it.
okay. Oh, wait.
Basically, I think we are all trying to set up separate
There you go.
distractions for him.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that so there are multiple opportunities for the key to be stolen.
We're casting a wide net.
Yeah.
All of our
Lyrene is totally unnoticed because the rest of you are making, this is more people that walked in 5 minutes than have come in the last 3 hours. There's several points in the night when groups of people come in. This is not usually one of them. And so people are kind of looking around. And Gurky, you head over to the stage or to the stage area. What you see is a trio over there. There is a half elf with a hand drum. There is a full elf that has a flute, and there is a human who has a mandolin and a big, huge flowing beard. And they are playing a jaunty little jig, a little dance tune.
Trying to keep it lively, basically.
Yeah, and you can tell there are some of the people that are in there that are paying attention. They're kind of banging their mugs on the table in time with the music, and other people are having conversations at their table. And Gormand, you're at the bar. Marin, you initially went to the bar. Is that correct? Goldman, I should say. You went to the bar. Okay, and who was Petrelli? You were gonna go start the dice game. Is that correct?
Try to find some people to play liar's dice.
Okay, all right. As you approach the bar, those of you going to the bar, there is a man that matches the description that you got from Genki. He appears to be he's well dressed. It looks like he probably has maybe some leather armor underneath his clothing. which is sort of loose clothing. You guys would know this because you're adventurers and you know what it looks like when clothing is worn over leather armor. He's got a fancy looking rapier at his hip that to most people would probably look uh like a showpiece, but you can tell that it's the way it's worn and just kind of the way the grip is worn a little bit. You can tell this gets used regularly, so he probably knows his way around his own weapon. And he is uh, sitting there, kind of one eye occasionally will look over at the stage, and he kind of bobs his head a little bit in time with the music, but most of his attention is on the barmaid. And the barmaid is a human, and she is, um, well, she's probably about this guy at the bar is probably around 40. The barmaid is probably half his age. Um, she is rather lovely in a small village girl kind of way. Um, and she seems to have a ready smile for people that approach the bar, especially if it looks like they're willing to spend coin. Um, and she is busying herself pouring a drink at the moment. And she says, she kind of looks over her shoulder as the two of you approach. Oh, just have a seat. I'll be right with you. And so then Fifi comes into the bar. And when Fifi comes into the bar, uh, there's a little bit of a um, there's a little bit of a blue note in the music because it's like all three of the performers, they just kind of look at the door and are like,
Could have been worse, guys. It could have been a brown note.
huh? Because you come in here and you are clearly overdressed for this place. The lace, the fancy leather, yeah, that's not what people wear in here. And the bright pink color, oh yeah, that gets almost everybody's attention. And the gentleman at the bar who you all are here to see, he sees their reaction, sees where they're looking. He turns and looks at the door, and he gives you a smile, Fifi, and he just sort of raises a glass to you, and you can see that there is an empty stool next to him.
Okay. So as I notice that he gives me a little salute with his glass, I'll do an exaggerated curtsy, in invisible skirts, curtsy. And I will make my way to his empty seat, but I'll do an exaggerated stumble on my way there. Maybe I'm here because I'm a little bit tipsy already.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is going to make. Let me see. He is going to make a. Okay, I need to do. This out. Oh, shoot. There we go. Pardon me while I pull this character sheet up. He is going to. Yeah, he slips off his bar stool with a practiced motion, and he reaches a hand out. He doesn't actually grab your hand, but he just sort of holds his hand out if you need to grab something to steady yourself. And he stands and he waits for you to make the way, and he'll wait for you to sit down before he resumes his seat.
Okay. Sort of on my way there, and as I stumble, I'll use the stumble motion to like put a hand against my chest and cast guidance on myself. And oh, Tempest, protect me. Okay. And I won't take his hand. I won't take his hand, but I will accept his implicit invitation. Sit down. Big flouts. Big flouts. I'm like,
that hand extended becomes kind of a graceful motion, and just as if he knew you weren't going to take his hand all along. And he resumes his seat, and he says, "My goodness, we haven't seen anyone like you in here all evening."
oh, well, that's probably because there's really not anybody like me.
Well, I should say not in these parts. Where are my manners? My name is Elix. And what might your name be, my dear?
My name is Philomena.
Philomena. That is a lovely name.
Thank you. I used to get made fun of for it when I was a little girl, but I think it suits me now that I'm all grown up.
Yes, I do. Philomena, what brings a woman like you to our humble little bar this evening?
Well, I was in the next town over, and it was my best friend's bachelorette party, and they all got really drunk and went home early, and I was asking around about a good place that's kind of like a little divey and a little bit fun because my dad doesn't really let me out that much. And so I heard about this place, and I was like, well, I have enough gold for a carriage. I should go and have a little bit of fun.
Ah, well, yes. They must have told you about the Zip Tops, who are playing here this evening. And he points towards the stage.
Oh, I love a good band. Do people in here dance, or will I get made fun of if I try and dance here?
Oh, well, nobody would make fun of you if you allowed me to dance with you.
Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Yeah.
And so everybody make me an insight check. Everybody who's at the bar, make me an insight check.
Am I still at the bar?
Yeah, you're waiting for the barmaid to
Okay.
come and pour your drink.
Yeah,
This
oh
is
my
all
God,
happening.
what is happening?
I'm gonna put that guidance on that insight check. So it's a 13.
Real quick, so I know whether or not to make this check. Have I been able to drum up any business for a dice game? Because you said there weren't a whole lot of people in here.
There's a couple of people from some nearby tables that are looking at you, maybe with some interest. But yeah,
Basically, that's going to determine whether I'm going to be at the bar or not.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Basically, where you're positioned to get to sort of what amounts to the open dance floor, Philomena and Elix are going to have to walk right past your table. So to get there. So you just happen to land in a great position for that. So your mark will be coming nearer to you as you're, whatever you're doing to get your dice ready out there on the table. So, all right. So insight checks. Yeah, Fifi and Marin, I you can tell that um you can tell that the woman behind the bar, she is having a little bit of a hard time deciding how she feels about this. It, there's there's a competition in her features between feeling relieved that somebody else has this guy's attention and also feeling a little jealous that somebody else has this guy's attention. So it's like she can't decide how she feels about this at the moment. Um, but she that quickly passes and she comes to get your drink orders and very efficiently fills your mugs. So uh, as Philomena, as you stand up, as Elix stands up, we're also going to get back to you with the. It's gonna take me a while to remember all the names. Gurky, as you're heading over there, uh, pulling your instrument out, they suddenly see these two people coming from the bar, and with kind of a nod, the tempo of what they're playing begins to slow a little bit, and it goes into more um, of a ballad type melody that would allow people to dance together, as opposed to like little jigs where
Yeah.
people would be dancing in a group. Um, and you're clearly pulling your instrument out and looking like you want to join in with whatever they're doing. Is that what
I'm just slowly like I'm getting close to them and I'm trying to match the tempo of them. And as they switch, I pull out my I had it wrong. It's not a lute, or it's a lute, not a lyre. I
Okay.
said that wrong earlier. Get those two mixed up.
Boo! Should have done bagpipes.
No.
Yeah.
And
The dance-worthy music.
okay, so make me a performance check, if you would, please.
All right.
So we're gonna see how well you blend in with this band.
The best of the best.
Oh my goodness, 18. That's pretty good.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's actually not bad.
you actually start to play a little counter melody.
Mm.
And the mandolin player looks at you and kind of nods and sort of does this little head motion to, hey, come on and get up on the stage. And so, you begin playing. And
I will stay behind them, though. I don't want to try and take over them. I'm just
right. Okay.
accompanying. Yeah.
Okay. So you're just, yeah,
I'm
you're
trying to
just kind of-
heighten their music. I'm not trying to invade their music. If that makes sense.
right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You're filling in the gaps in the
Yeah.
notes. All right. Philomena
Mhm.
or Fifi, what is your are you going to try to dance well, or are you going to try to intentionally be not a great dancer? What is Fifi's mindset here?
Fifi would. Fifi's not a great dancer anyway. And
Okay.
so she's going to do the thing that girls do when they're not a great dancer and they're really just doing a dance as an excuse to be close to somebody. And it's just like, you're getting a hug while I sway.
Okay.
Yeah.
He will start by seeing the way you're dressed. He will start by sort of taking your hand, putting a hand on your shoulder blade, sort of in a classic ballroom type of pose. And then as you just sort of kind of lean into him and your arm just sort of goes around him, he basically modifies what he's going to do, and he will still lead,
Mhm.
but he leads in a much more simplified type of dance. He's not going to try to do anything fancy.
Mhm.
Um, and he says, "Oh my, Philomena, you are a lovely dancer."
Well, I think we both know that that's not true, but I try real hard.
Well, are you having fun?
Yeah, this is probably the most fun I've had in days.
Well,
And did Marin happen to notice, like, while they were walking towards the position for which they were dancing, like, see any sort of indication of where the key might be, like a certain weight in his pocket, or?
make me a. He would have passed fairly close to you, so make an investigation check.
Okay.
And you said he's
Could I
passing close to me as well, right?
Yeah,
could I
and also
possibly counter
Marin.
that? Oh, go ahead.
What? Okay, go ahead, Marin. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, could I possibly counter that with a sleight of hand to, like, as he's excuse me, as he's walking, like, by, try to, like, kind of lightly pat him to see if he would, like, lightly enough to where Marin would not think would be noticeable, but instead of using investigation, up to you, obviously, as.
Oh, okay. So it's more.
Mhm.
It's you're trying to ascertain if you went for this, is he likely to notice you slipping the key out? You're not actually trying to get the key now. You're just trying to see how attentive he is. Is that what you're
Actually, I mean, that's a good point, but I would say not because, you're just saying this, but I would feel with Marin's expertise in this department that he was kind of doing a combination of that, but also trying to figure out, because
Okay.
we've known that he has the key, so trying to figure out if on the side that he could brush up against, if he had the key there.
Okay. If you want to try to slip the key without first identifying exactly where he might be carrying the key, I will let you do what you want to do, but I'll give you disadvantage at it. Otherwise, I'll let you make separate checks and do an investigation to try to figure out where it is, and then you would be able at some point to do a sleight of hand check with advantage now that you know where he's carrying it to try to take it. So
Okay, so I
it's
just
up
want to
to you.
clarify
he
real
said-
quick. Yeah, I just want to clarify. Like, you're saying that if I were to do sleight of hand to do what you're proposing to take the key, it would be at a disadvantage, is what you're saying? Yeah.
Yes.
So
If you do
I
that
just
without first trying to figure out exactly where the key is.
that's what I'm
Can I
trying
offer-
to do with the sleight of hand, though, is that
Oh, you're trying
I'll
to
just
figure
go
out.
with investigation.
You're trying to
He's trying to
figure out.
It
pat him
easier.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to
He's trying to
I'm
figure out.
just trying to, like, as he goes by, like, tap and see if, like, there's a give to the key in his pocket or
Then
something.
Is this a wallet? Is this a key ring? Is
Right.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was misunderstanding. I thought
No
you were like,
worries.
"Oh, I'm just gonna try to grab the key now."
No.
Oh, okay.
Just try to see where he could target it for that later.
Then back to your original counter. Yes,
Mhm.
just make a
Okay.
regular sleight of hand check, no disadvantage, to
Okay.
figure out where it is.
Awesome.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Okay.
17. Oh, yes. You definitely know that little that he's carrying a pouch in his trouser pocket, and you are pretty sure it's in that pouch. All you have to do is slip that pouch out of his pocket. Now
Noted.
he's got a pouch on his belt that clearly, from as close as you are, that clinks with coins. So that's clearly his coin purse. But
Noted.
what's in his trousers is gonna be where he keeps his key.
Okay. Then yes, just continue the scene, I guess, with the dance.
Okay. All right. So we have dancing. How are you displaying your dice, or what are you doing at the table with your dice as they walk by your table?
Yeah. So I got 23 in the investigation. So I'm eyeing him up for the same purpose as what he was patting him down for.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So can I assume I see this weight in his pocket?
Yeah.
I give you an idea.
Are you doing anything with your dice?
Yeah.
Okay.
As he goes by, man, I don't know if I should make this move already, but I know where it is. So I was thinking, as he goes by, I can intentionally roll a die off the table, like in front of him, so that I got to get down to get it, and on the way back up, bump him. Oh, sorry, man, and see if I can slip it off while I'm coming back up.
Okay, so you're gonna try a sleight of hand. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check. Very smoothly done. You bump him. He sort of sits and he kind of sees your table, and you notice that his attention is sort of distracted from Fifi as he's looking at the dice on your table, and he gives you a smile as you bump against him. He just kind of gives you a little bit of a smile and looks at your table, and there's a gleam of interest in his eye, and he keeps going. And when he gets out there, she starts clinging to him. They start dancing, and you have a little wash leather pouch in your hand, and you start to squeeze it. And oh, yeah, there's definitely a key in there. There's probably
Oh
like
yeah.
2 or 3 keys in there. So you
I'm,
can tuck that away.
no, I'm gonna nod Marin over real quick and pass it off to him.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I'm not even gonna make you roll for that. You two guys are on a crew. You pass it off, and Marin, now you
If I
have
have a feeling that guy's coming back to play dice, and I don't want the key on me when that happens.
yeah. So now, Marin, you have the key. So we have somebody playing. We have Gormand. You're at the bar. And what are you doing? You're starting to drink. Are you gonna try to talk to the
Yeah.
bartender? Do anything?
I'm gonna get my drink. Now, the timing of things. Like,
Okay.
has all of this already happened, or should I do stuff while that's going to happen?
Uh, well, you've seen them go out and you see them start dancing. Your passive perception would not be enough to tell that the key has been taken.
Gotcha.
That was done with such, nobody else in the bar noticed that.
Gotcha.
And in fact, probably your buddy there was surprised when the little purse was pressed into his hand. He's like, "What?"
All right. Then,
I told you, I get in, I get out, I get the goods.
Then, I'm gonna order a drink with the bartender and start chatting her up.
Okay. Oh. Well, how are you doing this evening, sir?
I'm doing all right. Why don't we start off with do you have anything dwarven? Dwarven whiskey, dwarven ale, anything proper in this place?
Dwarven whiskey, honey? You want to go straight to the dwarven whiskey?
Listen, hon, I start hard and I continue hard.
And she says, "Well, I've heard of that type." And
I bet you have.
she will she'll rattle off a couple of different brands that
Whatever the
you're
most
aware of.
expensive one is.
Okay, and she gives you that, and she puts it down and she slides it over towards you. She's a human, and obviously you present as dwarf, and so she's doesn't seem terribly interested. She doesn't seem terribly flirty with you.
How much did this cost?
Oh, are you drinking a glass or are you taking the whole bottle?
You know what? We'll play a good move. I'll take the whole bottle, and then I'll ask for 2 glasses.
Okay. The bottle will be 2 gold.
Oh, okay. All right. And then I'm gonna pour myself a full glass and give her just like a tiny little like one finger. Like, here, hon. I bet you see all types in this place. All sorts of, uncouth types that are always trying to talk to you. I bet it gets pretty annoying, doesn't it?
Oh, well, yes, it does. I'll
Well,
admit that.
how about dwarves? Have you seen many dwarves through this part?
We have the occasional mining crew coming through, but normally there's not much mining happening here in town, so
Yeah,
they're usually passing through, going from one place to another.
and
And of
those
course, the
miners, they're
deliveries.
rough folk, aren't they?
Oh, yes. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Well, there are better things to be done with a dwarf. Mining's not the only thing we're good at.
No, you grow fabulous beards.
We do, and so do our women. Have you ever thought of growing a beard?
And she says, no,
Hmm.
I don't
I
believe
think-
I would be able to. And
Well, I'm sure there's plenty of tonics and alchemy around where you could grow a glorious beard. I think you would look quite stunning in a beard. Us dwarves are quite talented in many ways. Have you ever heard the old adage about dwarves?
I've heard many adages about many folk, but what's the one you're thinking of?
It's it's a turn of phrase that gets around every now and then, but it's never been the most common. But it's always been a favorite of mine. It's once you go short, you never look for another port.
And she gives you this look. It's kind of a disapproving look.
Oh no, I am fully trying to charisma this lady.
Holy
Well,
crap.
make a persuasion check then. I make a persuasion check.
Oh come
While
on!
I think that the
I'm
dice
a
were
warlock.
the
No.
Charisma
dice
is
heard,
my stat.
the dice heard you, man. The dice heard you.
No.
She looks at you.
I have a 16 in charisma. I just want everyone to know that. I have a +3 to my charisma. Man, I
And
thought
she
this was in the
says-
bag.
She looks at you and she says, "You're right about one thing. There are all types in this bar." And she just downs the whiskey, slams the glass on her, and goes off to help the next customer.
I'm just gonna drink the whole bottle. I don't care anymore. I had one job and I screwed it up, and I don't care anymore. You guys, the
You're
rest of it's your
wallowing in the
problem.
bottle. Yeah.
I was supposed to be the face, and now it's not working. I'm just gonna take the bottle. I'm going back to the cart. I'm gonna start trying to wear Fifi's armor or something. I don't know. I'm going through something right now, and I need some way to figure it out.
Okay, so we have somebody dancing. We have somebody playing music. We have somebody getting ready for a dice game. Marin, you now have the keys. What are you doing now that you have the keys?
I mean, certainly tucking it away and not having visible,
Okay.
for sure. And I'd say that for the time being, to like look less suspicious, is I kind of sat down alongside Petrelli to join in on the dice, and we're just playing for now. But he's keeping an what's his name, Elix clocked
Felix.
to
Okay.
see whereabouts he goes, because he has his eyes on that other purse, seeing as he wasn't able to get the first patch.
Okay.
I have something real quick.
Give me Fifi, give me a perception check, and this is with advantage because you are in physical contact with Elix, dancing with him. So by necessity, you kind of pick up on his movements and everything.
Okay. Oh, a natural 20.
Oh my!
Natural 20.
Nice.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
As
you,
you all,
You're an idiot.
as you all were turning with Elix facing the bar, something apparently happened over at the bar because Elix stiffens a little bit and he tenses. His muscles tense a little bit as he's looking over your shoulder at the bar. And you're not quite sure what it was, but as you continue turning, you then see your friend Goldman has a bottle in one hand, a glass in the other, and is headed towards the door to the exit.
Real quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
as I go out, can I? Oh, sorry. Can I just pass Marin and kind of bump him, and just be like, "I'm fucking out of here." Like, I'm sorry, I'm out of here, and like, kind of be a little more, discreet. Just be like, "Listen, if you get the thing, give the bat, whatever you get it from, take it out, replace it with something, give it back, so he doesn't know it's missing, and just leave."
Okay. All right. So yeah, with all of the noise of the music and everything, you can do that relatively quietly. That's but yeah. And Fifi,
Mhm.
Elix's eyes are kind of looking at the bartender. As you see this scene play out with your friend leaving the bar.
Okay.
So what do you do?
So I clock it and I'm like, oh, did I step on your? Oh, I didn't. I thought I stepped on your foot, but
Oh, and he recovers himself. Oh no, no, my dear, no, my dear.
do you like the bartender? She's really pretty.
Oh, now, my dear, the bartender is working. I'm having a chance to dance with you. I always like to pay attention to my partner when I'm dancing.
Oh, well, I was just thinking that I mean, I'm new here and she's really pretty, and I wouldn't blame you if you thought she was prettier than me. It's okay.
Well, now, my dear Philomena, what has happened to you that you have such a hard opinion of yourself?
Well, you know, I grew up really tall, really fast, and the boys all made fun of me. And my sisters are all way prettier than me, and they're all married already. And you know, I'm just, I'm just Philomena. Third wheel.
Well, you're only third wheel because you have been hanging out with the wrong crowd. Now, I think that you are a positively lovely young lady. And it would be my pleasure to see that you have a wonderful time this evening.
Oh, gosh. Gosh, okay. Yeah.
And he says, uh, have you ever studied much dancing before?
No. I had a tutor, but he said that I had two left feet.
Oh, well, now that tells me you didn't have a very good tutor. Would you like me to try to teach you a simple 3-step dance?
Yes, definitely.
Very good, very good. And he turns over his shoulder towards the stage and he says, could we get a waltz in F sharp, please? And so,
I would say like as Marin is, keeping clocked, he notices when he like makes that request that he tries to like get eye contact with Fifi and is like,
Okay, trying to give you a signal, and I'll let you, Jen, decide whether Fifi, understands what he's saying or not.
I think Fifi clocks it, but has committed really hard to the bit and is like, I want plausible deniability here. And if I just like walk away the second, like if I just like left him high and dry on the dance floor, he's going to start thinking something's up.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, she
All
really
right.
wants to learn how to dance.
Okay. All right. So, and then this is going to involve you a little bit as well, here, Gurky, because
He mentions like, "Oh, play the waltz in F sharp." Gurky's gonna look at the others and be like, "I'm sorry, I'm not well learned in waltz music. I'm more simpler tastes, but you are all wonderful musicians yourself." And he'll step back off the bar or off the stage
Okay. All right.
and just like keep with the beat again, but try to position himself like on the opposite side from Fifi. That who was it? It was Petrelli and Mariner. So,
Okay.
like I want to be like straight line, if that makes sense.
Okay. All
That's
right.
bad.
All right. So they go into a waltz and they take it at a nice moderate pace. And he will Elix will give you a couple of little instructions, and as he's talking, he kind of, the way he positions his hand on your shoulder blade and the way he grips your other hand, and then he says, "Now, put your foot next to mine. Put each of your feet next to mine, and just try to follow my motions as I move my feet. And I will hold you so that you won't fall." Um, and he then slowly counts 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then he begins moving. Make me a performance check and make it with advantage
Okie dokie.
because he's leading.
Boop. Ha, told you, 2 left feet.
Okay, yes. You do your best to try to keep up, but uh, you know, you managed to get about 2 steps, and then with that 3rd step, uh, you miss your step a little bit, and you do kind of step on his boot a bit, but he's very gentlemanly, and he says, "That's quite all right. That's quite all right. We will take it again from the top." Uh, he says, and then he describes the steps for you a little bit.
Okay.
And this time, I would like you to make for me an acrobatics check with advantage.
That's worse. Oh, a nut, apparently.
Okay, so you you now that he's described the movements of the feet to you, uh, and you're waiting for him, you kind of now wait for him to move his feet before you anticipate what he's going to do. And you find mystically, magically, you're just suddenly dancing and you're moving around the dance floor and you find yourself spinning and you see that he is smiling. He says, "You're doing it. This is wonderful, Philomena." And yeah, he's saying very nice, and he keeps doing the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and exaggerate. You two gradually exaggerate the movements a little bit larger steps and a little bit more turn with every step, so that you're getting a nice little movement going out there, even though the music is at the same tempo. Um, and yeah, for the rest of you, they look she looks really like a natural out there on the dance floor. I don't know if y'all have ever seen her dance before, but it's like, where did that talent come from?
It's hard to tell when she wears all the armor.
Yeah, exactly. So how long would you dance with him? One song or two songs or?
Yeah, I would probably finish up that song and then I would like celebrate and just give him like a big hug around the neck and kiss him on the cheek. And I'm like, I've been trying to learn that since I was a little girl. You did it so easy. Oh my gosh. That's so good. Do you think that we could get a drink? I'm really thirsty now.
Oh, well, certainly we can have a drink. We can have a seat. And he looks over at the dice table and he says, now the bar has such high chairs. So why don't we have a seat here at the table with this nice gentleman here? Have you ever played any dice before?
I mean, once or twice, but not very well.
Oh, well, would you mind if I teach you a little bit?
Well, yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, and what would you like to drink? I'll go to the bar and get our drinks for us.
Oh gosh. I want. Can I have a bourbon on the rocks, please?
I don't know if they would have ice in a place like this, but
She's gonna ask for it anyway.
I don't know if Bourbon Kentucky exists.
Technically, it's sparkling whiskey.
Yeah, sparkling whiskey. Yeah.
Yeah. He says yes. I'll get you a whiskey, and so he does bring you back a whiskey.
Would you say
they
that
probably
Marin
had it
heard
in a
that, though? Sorry.
Oh,
a little delay there, but
Okay.
heard that he was interested in dice.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah, if
Can-
you're still at the table,
Can we flash back real quick?
sure.
Just while they're dancing. I assume since Marin's sitting next to me that I would have overheard him being
Yes.
told put something back in the bag. So in the meantime, between you and I think we need to work out some way to swap out the key in the pouch. Give me back the pouch. Put something of similar weight in it. And at some point, I will approach him and say, hey, excuse me, sir, I think you dropped this.
Right, yeah. I mean, that'd be smart. Now that I'm sitting at the table, if he sits down with us, it's going to be complicated.
Actually, that makes it easier because we just we slide it over under his chair and say, hey, I think you dropped something there.
Right, that's a good point. Would we? I would say, yeah. So Marin takes his like coin pouch, empties it, most of his 500 gold pieces somehow in his pocket, and then gradually tries to find an equal weight of the key and puts the key in his pocket as well.
Sure.
Yeah, he does that, I guess, then, and then kind of like tosses it over under the table.
Actually, hang on. I just had another thought. I need to take a quick look at my character sheet because I just remembered I'm a gnome.
Okay.
I don't think I'd have my tinkerer's tools with me.
Mm-hmm.
But do I need to have? Yeah, I have to. I think I have to have the tools in order to turn it into something. Yeah, it's using those tools. You can. Okay, never mind. I can't do that. I was thinking maybe I could tinker up a little fake key out of the coins, but.
Okay. All right.
But it takes an hour, and I have to have the tools, and I wouldn't have the tools with me while I'm in the bar because they'd be in my.
Fill the bag with rocks and move on.
Yeah. Here we go. I was trying to get tricky, but no.
Okay. All right. Well, you.
I think.
Go ahead.
It's so hard with like the second.
The little bit of lag.
Yeah. So I mean, so Marin does the whole thing with the pouches, and he's like, right, tell you what, I'll 'cause from what I recall, you're pretty good with dice. I'll as he comes to sit at the table, I'll get up, I'll bump into him, accidentally, not realizing, act a little drunk, drop it into his pocket so he feels like nothing ever changed, right? And then you finish up a game with dice. By the way, he has a coin purse. It sounded like it had some nice jingle in there. Go ahead and try to win that off him, yeah?
You got it.
Okay. All right. So, yes, he goes to the bar, and there's a brief conversation that he has with the bartender. And anybody who wants to can make me a perception check, and this will be with disadvantage because none of you right now are at the bar. Everybody's either at a table or away from the bar.
Sorry.
So
I stormed off.
16. No, that's fine. That's fine. Two
I
decent
can always
rolls.
burst back in real drunk and get belligerent.
Three really good roll. Three really good. Wow. Wow, you guys are coming up with the great rolls here.
We really want to know what he's saying. Give us the tea.
You're all sitting
Yeah.
at this dice table, just not even looking at the dice, just leaning and listening.
Yeah, it's like very, very obviously to you all, but obliviously to everybody else in the room. Oh, crap.
Jeez, Kyle.
Jeez, good Lord, Kyle.
My button got stuck. It froze for a second. I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay. Okay, we're gonna use the 9, the first one you rolled, but
Yeah, that makes sense.
First out of
we
what,
have
20?
15, 23, 24, 22.
We have
Nine.
Fifi.
I'm sorry.
Fifi, Lorene, and Marin. The three of you all hear a little bit of a slightly heated exchange between Elix and the bartender, and the gist of it is she's only in town tonight. You know that I will be back for you tomorrow, and and she seems a little huffy about that, and so then he comes back to the bar, or comes back to the table with the drinks, and that clearly is distracted. So when you try to make the switch or try to put the pouch back in his pocket, you're going to have advantage on that sleight of hand check because he's focused on Fifi, trying to give her drink, and also kind of distracted because of what's going on with the barmaid.
Okay. So I'm guessing so after hearing that, he's already making his way towards the dice table?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, Marin, is kind of like peeking a little bit behind his shoulder, see that he's coming, and as he's approaching the table, quickly knocks over his glass and gets out of his chair to get up. It's like, and he catches it, and he runs into him. It's like, right, sorry, mate, I had too many pints, but you can have my seat if that counts for anything. And he goes and does the maneuver of swapping it over.
Okay, sleight of hand with advantage. Oh wow, yeah. Okay, once again, the two of you.
Garrett, how's it feel?
I am just breathing in pain. I'm trying to think of any way without metagaming to get back into this bar.
We find him passed out with the shaggin' wagon.
He's got on half of Fifi's he's got on half of her armor.
Locked myself in the trunk.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and he sits down and he is going to start he tries to set himself up to sound like he's a real player. So you Lorene, you know this type. The type that just I'm sorry, not Lorene, Petrelli. You know this type. This type is just, you know, the very, very boastful and whatnot. And he's clearly trying to impress Fifi. And
Of course I know him. He's me.
yeah. And so he says, "Those are lovely dice that you have." He says, I am fond of the game myself." And he reaches into another pocket in his coat, and he pulls out a little dice cup that's got a screw on top, and he unscrews the top, and he dumps out dice, and these are polished ivory dice. So they're very fancy. And he says, "Shall we use your dice or shall we use mine?"
I'll roll you for it. My rat bones against your fancy ticklers there.
Okay. So I guess there are four d6s. Now, do you guys know how the dice roller tool in D20 or in Roll20 works? On the left-hand side, that little vertical strip, if you click the D20, a panel will open up, and then you'll see all the different dice types. If you go to the D6 roll and move over to the 4 and click the 4, it will roll 4 D6s for you. So, all right. Oh,
Ooh.
it is a tie.
Jinx. Sorry, that's a little family tradition. Anyway,
Well, I tell you what, sir. Um, why don't we use your dice for the first game, and we'll use my dice for the next game?
fair enough.
All right. Oh, how many dice are we using, and uh, what is the goal? We're using your dice, so you name the game. And
Well, I'm fond of liar's dice because it's real hard to cheat. You know what I mean?
yes, yes. And so, so you guys get ready to roll around now. Instead of actually like making dice rolls, what we'll do is we're going to do skill checks essentially.
Mhm.
And so there will be a combination of some sleight of hand checks and some bluff checks. Oh wait, we don't have. Do we have bluff in this?
Deception.
Deception. Yes.
Deception.
Sleight of
Don't
hand and deception checks. So we'll go ahead and let you go first. So make a sleight of hand check first.
Mm.
Okay, and then he makes his sleight of hand check. So that beats you by 4. And then go ahead and make your deception check.
Oh,
Feel the pain.
Oh, and that beats
I told you it
you.
was gonna break down when it
Yep.
got important.
Yeah, that beats you handily. So, guess what? The first hand you play for a gold piece or
Yeah.
something like that.
Ah,
Small
you got
stakes
me.
or
Yeah.
yeah.
I did that on purpose. It was. I'm totally. I'm just trying to share. That's all.
Okay.
100%.
All right. He takes the winnings, Fifi. He takes the two gold pieces, and he slides them over to you. He says, "Oh, this is for you, for that lovely dance." Um, and then he says, "Shall we go again, sir?"
Double or nothing.
Wonderful. And he pulls out his dice. He said, "Same game."
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, also, your dice are straight, right? You don't have loaded dice. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. He actually plays with straight dice as well because he knows that playing with loaded dice with the wrong people can get you into real trouble. So, we'll do the um, we'll do the uh, sleight of hand check first.
There we go. Told you it was a shame.
As
Oh, and you
everyone's
beat
at
him
that table, sorry,
Okay.
Gurky's gonna move over to the dance floor and try to continue the like lively, upbeat music once more, and try to kind of keep his focus on that table while also just trying to be like a general distraction dancing.
Okay.
Are you actually a bard by the way?
No, but Gurky thinks he is.
I
Okay.
literally wrote down that you were a bard because
No,
I thought you
No,
I was just wondering if you were going to, give me inspiration or not.
nope. He just thinks he is.
And then we'll do that deception check. So it looks like you're
Ah.
probably. Ooh, you might win this one.
Ooh,
Well,
ooh,
you
that'd be good.
won the one check, so yeah, you win this round. So now it's 4 gold to you. So
All
he
right.
pushes the 2 gold over. He says, "Well, you are good at this game. Would you care to make this a little more interesting and dice for maybe 10 gold this next time?"
I think I got one more in me. But
Very
this
well.
time we how about we mix the sets
Oh, wonderful. All right.
just to keep it even.
All right. So you go ahead with your sleight of hand check.
I'll lean over and blow on his dice for luck for the last hand.
Okay. You're not doing any kind of
Wait.
guidance or anything like
My
that.
dice or his dice?
His dice.
Okay. Okay. Just make.
This
Oh,
is just for
and-
show. Just for
I'm
show.
sorry.
Okay. You're not
I'm
casting.
sorry,
guidance.
Ben.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Ben. Before you roll, let's let Kyle
Yeah.
roll his performance check and
Oh,
see
yeah,
how he
right.
does.
For sure.
Well, let me make sure I only do it once.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Okay. Yes.
Incredible.
I
Here.
freaking love this song.
I just won breakdancing at the Olympics,
Don't worry, the bar was not set very high.
and I'm not from Australia.
I want to come bursting back into the bar, half full of plate, and be like, "I love this song."
Just
Just
spinning on
wait.
my head, like yeah.
Yeah, Gurky Van Halen over there, just sort of going crazy on the lute as he's playing, and there's some very nice action oriented music as this dice game goes on. So go ahead and make your sleight of hand check, Petrelli.
Oh, not so good this time.
Oh, by 11,
Yeah.
and
That's
then make
terrible.
your deception check.
Oh gosh.
That was bad for him. Okay. Beat you by 11. You beat him by 6. So that's a net for him. So
Yep.
he wins the 10.
Ah, well. Never let it be said I don't pay my debts. Pay him his 10.
And
But that's about enough dice for me for one night.
well, sir, it was a pleasure. I really enjoy a good dice game. My lovely Philomena, this place, I know you mentioned you were looking for kind of a dive bar, but it is a bit dingy. I know of a place a little quieter, a little more suitable for a lady of your refined taste. Would you care to accompany me?
Yeah, could you give me a minute to powder my nose?
Oh, of course, of course.
And then I just book it out the back door.
Okay.
I calmly walk out of the room, and the second I'm like around the corner by the kitchens, I'm just gone.
Okay. You make your way back around and jump in the carriage and find. Oh no! Wait. What's his name came back into the bar half dressed in your plate, right? So, you're there. You see her leave. What do the rest of you guys do? Rest of you guys start to make your way out. Um, it. Uh, Fifi, would you guys as a crew have worked out some sort of signal where you can kind of either with fingers or something, you kind of make a little sign
Sounds or
that
something.
other people might not know, but it tells your friends we're out of here.
Yeah, we throw up the bloods.
Or
Well,
would they just notice that you don't come back?
I think probably because I'm sitting at the table with Petrelli, he would know me well enough that the second that this guy is like very clearly putting the moves on me, like for real, just like all the color goes out of her cheeks a little bit. She looks
Okay.
absolutely panicked, and then she's like, "Yeah." Mhm.
Okay. All right. All right. So why don't you make me, as you get ready to go powder your nose, why don't you make me a deception check? I'll give it to you with advantage.
Okay, let's
And
see.
Irene has just been in the corner making sure that everybody's okay. He's going to
Oof.
be the last one to leave the bar.
Oh,
Make sure that
wow.
everybody gets out.
Okay. Well, 11 with advantage. He is.
Well, real quick,
Yeah, sure.
because she did mention she figured that I would notice, which I feel like I would.
Yeah.
Could I assist her in this check?
Oh, sure. Tell me
Then
how
the-
you would plan to assist her.
Let me think about that for a second. I just know I'm real good at deception. That's all.
Would you like try to
basically,
talk to this
basically,
guy as he's?
yeah, I want to talk as I'm
he's
packing
playing?
up the dice and just try to distract him a little bit so he doesn't
Okay.
quite notice.
Yeah, ask him
Yeah.
about his dice.
So yeah, make that.
Yeah, those are real nice dice. I'm glad I got
make your deception check, and depending on that, you may get to do your roll again for your. Oh,
that's probably not enough.
Yeah, let me take a look at his. Oh, actually, that's good. That's good enough based on his passive. So, yeah, Jen, you can make your deception check again and again with advantage, and you use the best roll
Okay.
because you got
Ken,
an
real quick,
assist
what was the
from- yeah.
band's name?
The
there
zip.
we go.
The zip tops.
That's what, okay.
Yeah, the zip tops.
It's a
All
very
right.
different band than the Zip Ties.
Yes. So
That's their cover.
Yeah. So you Philomena, make your way out. You can tell from your distraction that you've done with Elix the Saint that he is very much looking forward to her return. As you gentlemen make your way out of the bar, and in fact, he kind of gives you a little nod, like, "Oh, you all are being very gentlemanly to, give him a little time alone with the lovely woman." And so you guys head out. You get into the carriage, and you begin to head away. And as you all head
Someone's
away,
dragging me with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, as people
I just want to make
walk,
sure that no one's leaving me dancing on my
Pull,
own.
yeah.
If you were
I
the
will-
last one in the bar, I would have grabbed you as I noticed everybody else was leaving.
Okay.
yeah.
As they're leaving, yeah, Gurky gets up and he's like, "It was a wonderful time to have joined you all here at the Tipsy Tavern. Make sure you tip your bartender, and make sure we give a round of applause and buy drinks. Let me buy a round of drinks for the amazing Zip Tops."
Don't tip that bartender. She doesn't know a good thing when she sees it.
We will deal with this miscreant, and me and Lyra are gonna pull
Okay.
him out.
Make a show of fighting. But
Which reminds me, how much was in the gold pouch?
Oh, how much was in the gold pouch? That's a good question. Let me
'Cause
do a quick.
as Gurky goes up, he like kind
He's
of
gonna-
puts his hand out with the pouch.
Yeah. Let me do a little.
Psych! It's on Elix.
He like does a
Okay.
quick handoff. He's like, "And with this gold, we're going to pay."
Yeah.
Just like slam it on the bartender. And we'll deal with this horrible, like, not, as we're like pulling him out.
You cleared. You
bring
cleared
it back
it.
from the dead, then kill you again.
You cleared a good 25 gold from his pouch. And
Nice.
by the way, your observations were, that was one of his pouches. He's clearly got more pouches that have valuables in them, so
What a
he-
genius.
yeah, so he's
Good thief.
yeah. So we are almost at time, and we're at a good breaking point. So
Mhm.
everybody, thank you so much for playing this evening. We are about halfway through our 2-session one-shot. So we will pick up with probably just going to the Thieves Guild house next time, and we will pick up right there. So everybody, thank you for joining us this evening once again.
Real quick,
We're with
Can I
yes,
add?
go ahead.
So we are obviously Adventures on Tap. Our main thing is we run D&D games at different breweries around Central Orlando. Our next event is going to be at Eden Abbey, but we are actually out of stock. No tickets left. But there are tickets left for our September 14th event at 1010 Brewing and our September 21st event up at Oviedo Brewing. So if any of that interests anyone, we have the QR code at the top of the screen here, as well as you can always check us out on our Instagram page or at aotorlando.com.
Thank you, Garrett. Yes. Come out and help us out. There's great raffles. There's lots of fun one-shot sessions. We usually will play for 4 to 6 hours on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Most of the places we go have great menus and lots of cold beer on tap. So you can have a couple of drinks, enjoy a good meal, and have some fun playing D&D. Bring your home group out. It can be a great time out for your DM who never gets to play. Bring your DM as a treat to let them get a chance to sit on the other side of the table and harass a DM for a change instead of taking.
I set it on
crap.
fire immediately.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, and thank you, Nick, for running the stream for us. Players, thank you so much for having a fun time tonight, and we will talk to you next Wednesday. We go live right around 7:30 p.m. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Yeah.
Bye.
So, Nick, I guess.